Let's catch up with One Nation leader and founder Pauline Hanson. Now joins us live from Queensland. Good to talk to you, Pauline. Firstly, I want to go back to Paul Keating. He's no hero of yours, I guess, but he's right, isn't he, to say that that top marginal tax rate in Australia is punitive, is way too high?
Well, it is, and what he says with it. Chris, I think we need to overhaul our tax system completely. Australians are terribly overtaxed. So once you look at the people, they pay GST on top of their payroll tax, not payroll tax, but their payee tax they pay, income tax, and then on top of the GST. We need a system that's going to incentivise people to get out and do a second job, not tax them to the hilt. And that's a problem that we have. Whether we look at income splitting, whether we look at a flat rate of 25% tax rate, because all the other taxes that are added on to, it's just disgraceful. Apart from stamp duty, you hit with land tax on top of that, and that's your own private home. It's valued over $600,000 in Queensland. And then you have your state and local government taxes. We're taxed to the hilt. Yes, we need to do something about it. Yeah,
we are crushing ourselves with taxation and bureaucratic red tape. Let me go to border security. A fair bit been happening in that space since last we spoke. Of course, we've had now two deposits of asylum seekers to the mainland over the last 3 months. Now, I think many people misunderstand what a monumental failure this is, given that hasn't happened for a decade previously. And the whole intent of Operation Sovereign Borders is to stop that happening, yet Labor seems to be trying to brush it off. The Prime Minister has toughened his language. Here he is today.
We need to make sure that we send a strong message that people who come in an unauthorised fashion won't be settled in Australia, and that is what we have done. Operation Sovereign Borders is in place. It is important that we're able to have regular migration. We want to see an increase in the number of refugees who are taken by Australia.
There you go. What are your thoughts on that, Pauline?
What an absolute joke, what a hypocrite, what two-faced he is in saying that it's in place. He took off the temporary protection visas. He's actually, since the 3 months ago of the landing of the boat in Australian waters on the western coast, he's actually cut back the surveillance planes. There used to be 2 Dash 8s, now there's only 1. It's cut back in flying hours of 20.7%, and the maritime boats are cut back by 12.2%. He's actually cut back the budget. I had a look at the budget figures because I wanted to be ensured that what the coalition was saying was true. They have, because the first year it was 2.25 billion, or 2.225 billion, and then over the forward estimates, they're cutting about 600 million from that budget. So he's talking through his bloody hat, and he's lying to the Australian people. That's a load of hogwash, what he's telling the Australian people. And if you watch the clip, he said, if I cannot ask people to do something that I wouldn't do myself, and that's turn the boats around. They're bleeding bloody hearts. They don't care about the national security, and all these people are coming in are strong, fit men. So I want to know why.
That comment about not turning boats around was back in 2015. I showed that the other day. But also in that comment today, he seems to be trying to appeal to the political hard left there, because he's talking about trying to bring in more refugees. Now, this is after we had more than 1 million people come into this country last year, the greatest influx ever.
Yes, it is, and that's being pushed by the Greens as well, to bring more refugees. But look where he's bringing them from. He wants to bring 2,000 from the Gaza. We don't know who they are. 75% of the people there support Hamas. They are not going to agree with our laws, our way of life, our beliefs. We don't want these people into the country. And I've been reading reports of what's happened throughout Europe. They're actually having so many problems over there with the Muslims and people who do not integrate and assimilate into their societies and set up their own structures in law with Sharia law courts. If we don't watch out what's happening, it will happen here with such a small population. We don't have the numbers as there are in Europe.
We have got to be so careful on this stuff, and it doesn't look like Labor is paying it any attention at all. I just want to show the viewers, before I let you go, your poster advertising the return of the Please Explain cartoons. I can't wait to see the first one of the year. It's a cracking poster. I do have to mention just quickly, we talked about tax. I know you're selling a lot of gin and rum to try and pay for these cartoons. Does it ever strike you that you must be paying a hell of a lot of alcohol excise as well, that not only are you funding your own cartoons, but you're boosting the federal tax coffers?
I totally agree, but you come up with another idea how we can make the money to pay for these cartoons, because they're not cheap, Chris.
They're not cheap. They're bloody good.
To try and, you know,
they are bloody good, and we'll have Mark Nicholson on the program tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us, Pauline. Pauline Hanson there, the One Nation leader, live from Queensland.